Hi, Steve Nickelsen here for World Class Dealership. In the next half hour, you're going to learn how two highly successful dealers, James Wood and John Bergstrom, make their customers and employees a focal point of their business. Stay tuned to ASTN. World Class Dealership is next.
Welcome to World Class Dealership. I'm Vicki Hudson, and today we're going to introduce you to two dealers whose success goes way beyond high sales and great inventory. In fact, both dealers believe their customers and their employees are their greatest assets. In just a moment, automotive consultant Steve Nickelsen and dealers James Wood and John Bergstrom will discuss components of world-class dealerships and what roles your customers and employees play in your business. Before we get started, let's meet our featured dealers today. James Wood entered the automobile business back in 1963 and bought his first dealership in Decatur, Texas in 1978. Starting out with only 25 cars on the lot, James was determined to make the difference worth the distance. Located in a town of about 4,000 people, the majority of the dealership's customers travel between 50 and 60 miles for sales and service with a smile. The reputation of this dealership clearly reflects its 85% repeat and referral business. And today, James Wood Motors has doubled its size and operates another dealership, this one in Denton, Texas. Sales for each of these stores averages about 450 units per month. Our other featured dealer today is John Bergstrom. John is president and chief executive officer of Bergstrom Corporation in Neenah, Wisconsin, a town of about 20,000. Bergstrom Corporation owns and operates 19 automobile dealerships along with several other businesses. Bergstrom Automotive and its family of dealerships are very rich in traditional values. And these values transcend through all the departments to the customers and out into the community. And now here's automotive consultant Steve Nickelsen.
Thanks, Vicki, and thank you both for joining us today on World Class Dealership today as we discuss the importance of your customers as well as your employees. And I guess as I've been to your store, Mr. Wood, and I've been to your store, John, it was certainly one of the first things you notice as you see your environments is you both have connected between the employee stand and the customer stand. Has that been a recent phenomenon, or you think it's been that way for a long time, or is it just something that we as an industry are starting to understand? How do you see it?
Well, I know as far as my case is concerned, we put the customer first a long time ago when we first started in the car business. And in a new car business, and that's.
But it wasn't popular back then. I mean, wasn't it more short-term, profit-driven kind of an environment at that time?
Well, it wasn't for us, and because our plans to start, it was a very small dealership, and we knew that we wouldn't overcome that with just massive advertising in 6 months or a year a time. And we knew that we had to get a good foundation base of customers and grow on that.
That's really a good point, because you're not even metro adjacent, are you? I mean, you're out there 45 miles, and
yes,
you know, to buy Dallas-Fort Worth people, be a very expensive proposition, if it's even possible, huh? Was that your thinking? I
think so, and it's really not possible. It's not financially possible to do that. You just have to get that good base and start from there.
You know, John, up in the northern part of the country, you employ, what, some 1,700 people in your area of Wisconsin, that general area. What's the uniquenesses as you view it in gearing in net profit, customers, employees? How's that all connect for you?
If we're unique, we've been able to keep a company as it grows still small. We've been able to keep employees as a focus. We want them to feel part of the family, and we work very hard to make sure that that continues.
What are 2 or 3 things you do or that your organization does you think that might be special to the Bergstrom Group?
Well, first of all, from a business side, we help them provide for their retirement. We match money that they put aside in a 401 on a 100% basis, and we increase that to a larger amount when they have tenure with us. We help them prepare so that when they become 62 years old, that they can live the same lifestyle that maybe they would have had if they continued working, as far as the cash flow goes. Secondly, an issue that comes up always is we pitch in when things are tough. And in a group as large as our group, and with as many people and as many diverse activities, you always have someone that's having a tough time. And if you can work together to try and help them go through that period, frequently it's not something you can even fix. It's just something you show you care about. That makes a big difference.
How do you hire to that quality in people? How do you find people? Because I've been to both of your stores. Your people have that quality. How do you find it, select to it, recruit it? How do you do that?
I think after you get that started, and after you hire the first bunch of folks, and you've got a few people, when they're talking around the community, and we do as John does as far as a 401k, and we furnish insurance for them, and help them through those bad times, and it's a place that they want to work, and all of a sudden it's not that we're really recruiting those people. We have people that are wanting to go to work for us, and as far as salesmen and even technicians and office managers, we have a pool of people that have applied to work there, and whenever we have an opening, and we just look at those and choose between them. We also do one other thing. My wife has done a lot of counseling in the past, and we try to take care of the needs of the people on an everyday basis. And we did something about 2 or 3 years ago that when I told my managers we were going to do it, I don't think they really approved of it, but they really liked it since then. But we've got a chaplain, and he goes around to all the employees and just goes, he doesn't have any Bible studies or anything, he's just there to hear the problems. And a lot of those people that wouldn't come and talk to me, maybe about an alcohol problem with their son or a drug problem with their son, or maybe they've got trouble with their wife, you know, and they might not want to talk to me about that, but they'll talk to that chaplain. And all he reports to us is a number of people he's talked to during the month, and it'll be a great number of people.
Interesting.
And but they'll confide in him after he gets to know them, and he visits a long time before they start talking to him.
What a super idea.
So,
Good for you.
worked real good.
Good for you. You know, James, as you both know, you were both featured on Chevrolet's Power and Partnership, which for some of our people may not know, it's a case study. We're going on our 4th year now of just the very best Chevrolet stores across the country. We saw both of you. Let's watch a few clips from our visits to your stores. John, your sales manager said yesterday that 10 years ago you started beating them up in meetings about taking care of the customer. What created that focus for you back then?
I'm going to have to talk to him, Steve. I don't think I started beating him up, but all of us realized that we were in an era where it was very important to take care of the customer, and we wanted to do that. We wanted to be the best at what we could in our marketplace, and we knew that we were going to have to be customer-driven.
Well, that's before CSI was really, I guess, a buzzword in the industry. But John, what are some things that you've done over the years to get that customer, his expectations or her expectations exceeded beyond what they think they're going to come in to receive?
I think Kurt Horning's quote yesterday to you was, we started out by putting up a whole group of signs that said, treat everyone like your mom. Not so much that we'd have signs up, but to get everybody to recognize that this was a very small little company and we had to do everything on a very localized basis, and every customer was a potential.
It's just a very professional organization. I mean, the environment here is, the people are friendly. It seems like everybody's focused on satisfying the customer, and I think they are trying to create customers for life here, and it's very obvious. They do special things, special parties that they have to thank their customers, the special previews to show the new Cadillacs when they come out, and that's just going above and beyond the normal, I think, services that a car dealership orders.
General Motors has excellent products, excellent service at this dealership, a lot of friendly people, which I think is real important. Most of them know me by my first name when I walk around the whole building, and I think that's real important.
John, walk us through some of the specific things you're doing to enthuse your employees, retain your employees, train your employees. What does that whole human resources thing mean for John Bergstrom Chevrolet?
A major part when we started our company was trying to make sure that everybody won when the company won. And we pay people based as much as we possibly can on the fruits of their efforts. We also are very much involved in a company match retirement program. And if we take a man in his early 30s and he hangs in there with us and works hard as part of the team, he can retire respectively when he's 65 years old and be almost in a position where he's at full pay for the rest of his years. The company is very much involved, has been very much involved from the very beginning in a 401k, helping people, giving them counsel and preparing for their life after their job.
What's your general overall strategy on compensation, John? What are you trying to accomplish with your compensation plans?
I don't think you can pay anyone too much that excels. And we aren't really too concerned about how old a person is or how much experience that person has. We're really concerned on how well he does taking care of our customers.
Well, I know that you not only take care of your customers and your employees, but you take care of this community too, don't you, John? I see a lot of vans and things around this town. By the way, can we get in this car while we chat?
We certainly can, Steve.
You know, you do give back, don't you?
All of us in our automotive family are committed to this community. We think that it's very important. We have a responsibility to make this a better place to live and work.
What are some of the things you do?
Well, as you mentioned just a moment ago, we supply 5 vehicles to the nonprofits. Each of the hospitals has a van to go out and pick up elderly people that need a ride. We supply a vehicle to the police department to go out and teach young people about drugs in the schools. We supply a truck to our local Red Cross unit so that they have an emergency vehicle that can represent the Red Cross properly when they have a time in need. We're very much involved in downtown redevelopment. My brother Dick and I have just finished our 4th downtown redevelopment project, and we're very proud that all of us in the Bergstrom family, all of us in our corporate family, work very hard for our community.
Well, John is a builder. He builds businesses and he builds buildings, and he also builds communities, really. He's very bright and hardworking and forward-thinking and committed to quality. That's one of, I think, his strongest characteristics, and that works for the community's benefit as well as the business's benefit. He looks long-term, and he looks for possibilities, and with John, most everything is possible.
When I look at maybe some of the reasons among many that you're doing so well today, I can't help but look at this customer satisfaction commitment. When the store was purchased by you, what, in 1989?
1989.
I show a CSI here of 44.
Yeah, that's
not possible.
I believe a guy's got to try to do that, don't you? Yes. And we raised that. Of course, that is our main goal, is our CSI. And we have a Christmas party every year. This year there will be around 800 at that Christmas party, employees and their spouses. And we, till about 4 or 5 years ago, we would talk about the number of cars we were selling. And about 4 or 5 years ago, we still mentioned that, but we said, okay, from now on, what we're going to discuss is a CSI. We're going to see how well we can take care of these customers and let them take care of us about the number of cars we sell. And so that's what we announce every year at the Christmas party. That's the big thing, is where our CSI is. It's one of the main things we talk about.
Well, I think it's something that General Motors has started on here recently in the past 3 to 4 years on CSI, whereas James and Shirley were, in my opinion, smart enough to realize that, many years before maybe General Motors realized it, and they just built a customer base that customer loyalty. If you don't have it, you don't grow in a town of 4,000 to 4,000 units a year.
We treat customers like they want to be treated. We have a good repeat business because we do treat them the way we do. They feel like they're not being taken advantage of, and if we've got a customer that just wants to look, we don't just send them out there to look. We go out there and show it to them, and that way when they do decide to buy, they come back and buy it from us.
Main focus is being fair to the customer, meeting the customer's needs, whatever it may be. Not keeping the customer delayed too long to where they have to feel like they're being neglected or put off or ignored. James's philosophy is that customer is our paycheck, and we better take care of them or they may not come back.
James Woods, I think it's the best around. Your service, your dealership, your people you deal with. They're all high caliber people, really. And of course I deal with probably one salesman, but I see them all and we have lots of fun with each other, and they're just good people.
For all these franchises, Chevrolet, Top Dealer Award, World Class Sales Leadership, Best Overall in Truck Sales. For Buick, Best in Class, General Manager Select 60, and on the Olds Elite Award. You really have brought in the awards, haven't you? I mean, among the nation's best
And we're
dealers.
proud of those. And all of those programs, when they bring a program, they're all a good program, and it's things we need to do, and usually it just fits with what we're doing already. And so we're glad to try to be in that program with them.
In terms of customer enthusiasm or customer satisfaction, your wife Shirley, I know, is actively involved in that too. Tell me about that.
Shirley started several years ago calling all of our service customers. And of course, we'd called our new car customers for a good while. But I suppose we started maybe 7 or 8 years ago. And we call every service customer that's been through our dealership. We call them to be sure, and she does, her and another lady there, to be sure their car's fixed right the first time.
One thing I've enjoyed about coming to James Woods was the follow-up, and there was a case one time when I had a new Suburban that I bought, that I brought it back for service, and there was something quite not right with it. Shirley Woods called the next day to find out if I was taken care of, and I kind of hesitated, and she said, I can't fix your problem if you're not honest and speak up. So I told her what the problem was. That afternoon I was back up here, and it was fixed. And she is great on doing follow-up.
Sometimes I'll call and they'll say, oh yeah, it's okay. And I'm not really convinced that it was. But I don't want to be looking for negative input, but I just say, well, I'm not really convinced of that. Can you tell me more? And they usually will.
In terms of recognition for your people, I know you're doing a lot of unique things there. In fact, one gentleman told me that a trip to Disney World was something recently on. Tell me what that's about.
We do. We have outstanding employees, and not necessarily every month. We do those maybe 2 a month or maybe 1 every 3 months. But we try to watch it. It's good for us as managers to sit around and try to find an outstanding employee. Salesmen are not qualified for that, or our managers. And our salesmen get some other awards. We have quite a few things that we can reward them with. And then when they win the Outstanding Employee Award, they get $200 in a plaque and a recognition in our newsletter. We have a newsletter that comes out every 2 weeks. And then if the Outstanding Employee for the year gets he gets a trip, normally a trip to Disney World or Hawaii, and usually $500 or $700 or $800 for expenses. It's a pretty nice trip for the Outstanding Employee of the Year.
Last year I was voted Employee of the Year, and all of the managers vote on this position. I felt really lucky to be able to be voted this and recognized in this way, because a lot of people just say, well, you're doing a good job, or they might not even tell you you're doing a good job. And they gave me a trip to Hawaii for that, which was real nice. My husband and I went there and spent 3 or 4 days, and was really nice.
Our employees are probably our greatest asset here at James Wood Motors, and I think that's one reason that we get the repeat business is the quality of employees that we have, so we feel that it's important to recognize them and reward them. A lot of times you get caught up in the sales and you forget about the people in the back, and we've got to remember that it's a team deal here that makes this thing work.
You know, you get the impression, gentlemen, watching this with all of your people, that it's almost not even a manager-employee relationship. It's almost, in fact, I had a dealer tell me not long ago, I'm not going to hire anybody I wouldn't feel comfortable having at home for dinner. Is that an extension of what I'm hearing and seeing from you two?
I believe it is. I believe that's the kind of people we look to hire, and we're very careful in our hiring. At least at the Decatur store, I talk to everyone before they're hired, even if they're going to be a wash boy. They come in and I visit with them before they're hired. And I think that's important. And then also then after you hire them is to build that relationship with them so that they are your friend. And you know, if they're not your friend, they probably don't really care what you want. But if they're really your friend and they know you care about them, they're going to try to do what you want them to do.
How easy is it to get on with the Bergstrom organization? What's your recruitment, selection, hiring process, John? Is it a big deal, a lot of emphasis there or not?
Well, we're fortunate in that people want to work with us, and so we're able to get a higher caliber of person maybe than some organizations might be able to that haven't had a chance to position themselves. But what I look for, what we try to focus on, is someone that long-term wants to be in our business. It's not someone that's looking for a job because they need a job, but someone that likes this business and understands that there's some pain with the gain in being in the automobile business.
Any keys to trying to figure that out? I mean,
well, there's a certain enthusiasm that comes through for a person that really is excited about having the chance to work there that you look for.
And you just sense that. We're going to be back with more here on World Class Dealership after we take this short break.